Alright, attempt number 2. Okay. Trial. Alright.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the result. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
And the killer really is one of us, right?
Of course!
Okay then. Everyone, close your eyes. And whoever did it, raise your hands.
Don't be a goddamn idiot. Why the hell would they raise their hand?
Before we move on and start the trial, can I ask a question real quick? What's going on with...
I'd feel awful if they got left out just because they died. Friendship penetrates even death's barrier.
Friendship penetrates?
Okay, but what about that other empty seat? There were only 15 of us to begin with, so why are there 16 seats?
Oh, no reason. It's just that our little courtroom here can technically fit up to 16 people. Okay, that about does it for the preamble. Get ready to get started. First up is the case summary. Now, let the begin.
It's all about to begin the debate to decide who we think the killer is. Anything I found, anything I noticed, I have to be ready to speak up about everything. Because this isn't just about me, everyone's lives are on the line. Your first non-stop debate is about to begin.
I assert that the one who was murdered was Miss Sayaka Maizono.
Yeah, we know that part already.
And the murder took place in Makoto's.
In the bathroom. So it seems like the killer must have taken her back. She didn't even have a chance to receive it.
No, it's wrong! Just a second, Chihiro. Try to remember how my room looked. With the way things had been damaged, I think we can definitely assume there was a struggle.
A struggle? Between who and who?
Between Sayaka and the killer, of course.
So you're saying Sayaka...
She must have been attacked in the main room first. Then, she ran to the bathroom to try and hide. The killer followed her in, and that's where they finished the job.
That much should have been obvious after taking one look at the scene. It shouldn't even need explaining.
Sorry.
Okay, so what's next?
Next is the subject of the murder weapon. Kill her.
There was some kind of sharp object, without a doubt. That is the murder weapon.
So the killer used some random knife they had on him.
No, it's wrong! No. I do think it was a knife, but not just any knife. I'm almost positive it was a kitchen knife.
Huh? A kitchen knife?
After the murder, we discovered that one of the knives from the kitchen was missing.
Which means that knife must be the murder weapon.
Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. You could sort of see the weapon sticking out of her stomach. And if you look real close, I could totally see that being a kitchen knife.
Okay, so the murder weapon was a kitchen knife, but where does that get us? I mean, we all know Makoto killed her, right?
That's
Right. Makoto's room was the scene of the crime. What more proof do you need?
Hold on a second.
Let's draw our conclusions after we presented our arguments. Otherwise, what's the point of the trial?
Well, we can talk all we want. It's not gonna change that conclusion.
I don't think that's true at all. I'm sure if we keep at it, something new will reveal itself.
You really believe that?
While you're concentrating, time will slow down so you can pay closer attention to what everyone's saying. Talk about else that you're making it easier for you.
So I guess there's no question that the kitchen knife was the murder weapon.
But where does that get us?
Makoto must have taken it from the kitchen. He did it in secret, when nobody was in the dining room.
No, that's wrong. Okay, wait. Hold on. I didn't take the knife from the kitchen.
Next, you're gonna say you're not the killer, right? Go ahead and say it all you want.
Well, what if I have a witness? What do you think, Hina?
Huh?
Remember what you were telling me earlier? Just to be perfectly clear, the knife disappeared while you were in the dining hall, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
And at any point while you were there, did you ever see me come into the dining hall?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, he definitely wasn't there.
The knife disappeared while Hina was in the dining hall. In other words, there's no way I could have taken the knife.
Okay, then what about this? What if the idiot swimmer girl and Makoto are in on it together, and lying to protect each other?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
But what if they did work together, and they just didn't know about the rules?
Good grief! Enough already! No, okay? There are no accomplices in this case! Oops! Did I say that out loud?
Anyway, I didn't go to the dining hall, and I didn't take the knife. So I'm not the killer.
Okay, so then... Hina seems the obvious candidate. After all, she just said she was in the dining hall.
No way! I swear it wasn't me!
Sure, but can you or anyone else prove that? I can.
That's right. Sakura was with me the entire time I was drinking my tea.
I hate to have to ask, but just to be sure, Sakura's...
Me.
Right.
But then, couldn't either one of them have grabbed the knife?
Actually, no. Because, well...
Just spit it out already.
I stayed in Hina's room last night.
I got so scared thanks to those creepy videos. I wasn't really thinking, I just asked her to stay over. Which means we have airtight alibis. You stayed over? Doesn't that violate one of the school regulations? We're not allowed to sleep anywhere but the dorms. But it doesn't say we have to stay in our assigned room, so I don't think that's a problem.
It is a problem! A boy and a girl spending the night together? It's unwholesome!
But I'm a girl.
You are? Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry!
But if it wasn't either of you, then what other possibility?
Actually, there is one other possibility. Right, Hina?
No, I want to finish it. Shut up.
Why didn't you say so in the first
I
place?
keep struggling with this.
Well, because they're not here anymore. Sayaka. She's the one.
I give up every time I do something in this game.
I got it! Then, Sayaka is the one who took the knife?
That's the only possibility. And thinking back on it, she was acting kind of unusual. When she came into the dining hall, she didn't even look. She said she just wanted a drink of water. But most likely...
And the person who took the knife was the victim herself.
I'm sure she just took it for self-defense.
So you're saying the knife she took was then taken from her, and she was killed with it? In that case, you may not have taken the knife, but you still could have killed her.
What?
See? He did do it after all!
No, you're wrong.
So, that's how you would twist the argument and send us all off in the wrong direction? You possess a most terrifying talent.
Hold on. It's still too early to decide conclusively that Makoto is the killer, wouldn't you say? Because you see, if the room did belong to the killer, then they did something most bewildering. And until we unravel that, declare that he's the killer.
Bewildering? What the hell are you talking about?
Something was missing from the scene of the crime that by all rights should have been there. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Now I understand. That's right. There wasn't a single hair on the floor.
So, the culprit removed some evidence?
Yes. And if I were the culprit, why would I need to get rid of all the hair in my own room? It wouldn't be unusual at all to find my hair at the crime scene if the crime scene is in my room.
The reason all the hair was gone was to remove any trace that Sayaka had ever been there. That makes sense, does it not?
No. If that were the case, they would have had to do something about the body itself, not just her hair.
Yes, very true, very true.
Okay, then why wasn't there any hair on the ground?
The killer got rid of it all, of course, to remove any trace that they had ever been there.
Wait, and that means...
Precisely. It's simply beyond reason to believe that the room's owner and the killer are one and the same.
Then, Makoto isn't the culprit?
Are you sure we can decide something so important based solely on the absence of some hair?
No. There are other reasons that prove why Makoto couldn't have done it.
Hear these reasons.
Do you remember anything remarkable about the bathroom at the scene? Sayaka was attacked in the main room first, then fled into the bathroom, right?
Yeah, then they ran after her, got into the bathroom, and stabbed her.
And how did the killer get into the bathroom? Did they have any trouble with...
What do you mean?
It's fairly certain that the killer had some trouble getting into the bathroom. There was clear evidence left behind. Do you remember, Makoto?
The killer struggles getting to the bathroom and removes the object the killer
evidence that the killer had trouble getting into the bathroom. You're talking about the doorknob, right?
Huh? The doorknob? What doorknob?
The doorknob for my bathroom. It was completely broken. See how the top part was unscrewed? And the doorknob's about ready to fall off?
Oh yeah, true. But what does it mean?
In trying to bypass the lock, they ended up nearly removing the entire doorknob. This is another most bewildering act for the room's owner. It proves Makoto is beyond suspicion.
So what? You're saying he wouldn't break the door in his own room? But if the only choice you have is to break it, you break it. There's nothing bewildering about it.
You still don't see? Okay then. Let's take another look at how the incident unfolded. Hopefully that will help you understand.
I was checking something. There's a bit more than about non-stop debates. Yeah. No matter how many weak spots, there's essentially only one lie or contradiction in that debate. What I'm trying to say is not all weak spots you see are necessarily false. Use the truth bullet on the wrong one, and not only will you be able to repeat what they said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone and your influence values will take you down. Now this is important, because if your influence is large, reaches your reach. Love to rely on your logic to determine if spots are actually lies or contradictions. And then turn up and
And they got into the back. At that point, the killer had to try and bust it because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally,
To finish the job.
it was you! We already know the answer. The incident took place in the Sayaka was first attacked. She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran after her, and they got into the bathroom.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door because Sayaka had locked it.
And finally,
To finish the job.
it was you! We already know the answer. The incident took place. Sayaka was first. She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bath.
At that point, the killer had to try and bust down the door.
Shoot!
The incident took place. Sayaka was first. She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran, and they got into the bath. At that point, the killer, because Sayaka had...
And finally, the culprit...
To finish the job.
It was you! We already know the answer.
The incident took place in Makoto's room. Sayaka was first attacked in the maid.
She then fled into the...
Then the killer ran after, and they got into the bath.
At that point, the killer had to try and... because Sayaka had locked it.
No, it's wrong. The reason my bathroom didn't open wasn't because it was locked. After all, The girls' rooms are the...
Yes.
Then why didn't your bathroom door open?
Because it was stuck.
Huh? What are you talking about?
My bathroom door doesn't fit in the frame plate. Monokuma over there can testify to that.
Yup, true as true can be. But you know, you're supposed to be the ultimate lucky student, right? But to have such a cruddy door, that's not lucky at all.
So the reason the door didn't open was just because it was stuck. But the killer didn't know that and assumed it was locked. So they tore apart the doorknob to get in.
Okay, but then why would the killer even think the door was locked in the first place? Everyone should have known you can't lock any of the boys' bathrooms.
The killer could easily make that mistake, thanks to one important detail about the scene of the crime.
The killer was convinced the bathroom door was locked, so he didn't know the door actually couldn't be locked. In other words, the important detail about the scene of the crime they didn't know was the crime took place except for the room the crime.
I got it! The killer must not have realized that it was my room.
What? Are you saying the culprit didn't even know where he was? That's inconceivable.
And yet, he's absolutely right.
Say what?
Well, to be more specific, what the killer didn't know was that Makoto and Sayaka had switched rooms, which is what led to the misunderstanding about the bathroom.
Then there would have been a lock on the door, and they would have had to break through!
So they had no idea how unnecessary their actions were.
Ultimately, we can't know if it came open by force. The killer must have been considerably
Regardless, it was a pointless act. Wasting time trying to break down a door that wasn't locked is...
Definitely something I wouldn't do, since I would have known exactly why it wasn't opening, right?
That is a definite possibility.
So the killer would have to be someone who didn't know they'd switched rooms?
Then Makoto couldn't have done it.
Okay, then who did do it?
I'm sorry, but I give up! Quit without saving!
But what happens if we can't decide on who we think did it?
Well, why don't we just vote right now? Majority rules!
Majority rules? You really think that's a good idea?
Yeah, our necks are on the line here. Someone seriously needs to do something. For serious.
Does no one have any other thoughts or questions? It does not matter how trivial they may seem.
Oh, as a matter of fact, I do have one question.
Oh, you...
You don't gotta sound so disappointed.
It's fine, it's fine. Just ask your question.
Oh yeah. Okay, so, well, I was just wondering, how did the culprit get into Makoto's room in the first place?
Yes. How did the killer get inside?
Maybe Sayaka just dropped the key somewhere and the culprit picked it up. That's possible, right?
I don't think so. That seems way too convenient.
Then, maybe someone picked the lock?
Negative! If you remember, Monokuma made it quite clear that the locks are all unpickable.
Fine. How about this? The killer got in the easy way. They could have knocked and said they wanted to talk or something, and Ms. Maizono just let him in.
No, that can't be it either.
Oh, trying to argue against me? Sounds like someone doesn't know his place. Hello? Why exactly can't that be it?
Because she asked me to do something particular because of how frightened she was. That's the answer right there. There's no way Sayaka let someone in
I got it! Because Sayaka was already scared, remember? That's why she asked me to switch rooms in the first place.
The same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open the door for anyone. Even if I I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching?
Knowing what she'd been through, I just can't believe she would have opened the door for anyone.
What if her being scared was a lie?
Huh? Well, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Why would she lie about something like that?
I know you don't want to consider it, but look at this and tell me. Can you still deny the possibility? I found a notepad during my search, and I shaded in the top sheet with a pencil. And these are the words that appeared.
Oh man! I've totally seen people do that on detective shows. When you write, it can leave an imprint. Sketch over the next sheet of paper, and you can see the words. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap! I better make sure I rip the paper out before I use it from now on.
It's a pretty old-fashioned technique, but even the classics can be surprisingly useful sometimes. Oh, and I should also mention, I found the notepad on the desk in Makoto's room.
Huh?
Which means only someone who had been in Makoto's room before the incident could have written it.
Then either it was Makoto who lived there, or Sayaka who switched rooms for a single night.
So, Makoto, did you write this?
No, I didn't.
But of course you didn't, because the note also bears a perfectly legible signature. Sayaka's signature.
But why? Why would she write that?
The note was likely her way of getting in touch with a certain someone. She must have slid it under their door.
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct? But in the note, the place they were at, it specifically said, I see.
So then they would have gone exactly
The room that Makoto, so in other words,
even if somebody would not have entered.
correct? But in the note, the place, it specifically says, my room.
Shit!
Sayaka and Makoto switched rooms, correct?
Shit! Sayaka and Makoto, but in the note, it specifically says, I see. Then they would have gone exactly
The room that Makoto...
No, that's wrong! The nameplates on Mai and Sayaka's rooms got switched.
They got switched?
That's right. The nameplates, as a result, the nameplate on Sayaka's room actually had Makoto's name. And the nameplate on Makoto's room had
So what you're saying is, the room Sayaka was staying in was actually marked as her room.
Then, if someone did do what the note said, they would end up at Makoto's room where Sayaka was.
Plus, their rooms are right next to each other, so switching the nameplates would be no problem. And the one who switched the names was... Well, of course it wasn't you, right, Makoto?
Right?
Okay, then who did it?
Who done it? There's only one person who could have switched nameplates. The only other person who knew he had switched rooms was Sayaka.
I got it! Me and Sayaka were the only ones who ever knew about us switching rooms. So the only other person besides me who would even know to switch the nameplates was Sayaka.
You can also infer as much from her note. She specifically tells the reader to check the nameplate. She would only have written that if she knew the nameplates had been switched.
But why would she switch them in the first place?
She wanted someone to come to the room she was in, and also hide the fact that it was Makoto's room.
What?
Inviting someone to your room, but not telling them you'd switched rooms.
To understand that, we first need to understand what happened after she invited the person into the room. That's where the answer lies.
What
happened then was whoever she invited over. We figured it out! We know who did it! Whoever she invited over is the culprit!
But we still don't know who it is, you goddamn idiot!
Perhaps the answer to...
When you look at her wrist, she had stuff on
I got it! All you have to do is take a good look at her broken wrist, and it should become pretty clear. Right there where her wrist is all swollen, there's something glittery there. See?
Is that gold?
It sure is. You barely have to touch that, and there's some on her wrist because...
I got it! Because she got hit with the sword, right there on her wrist!
I see. And so the truth draws ever closer.
All right, then it's about time to solve. When the fighting broke out, the culprit grabbed the sword, and that's when the first sword-based sneak attack.
That's what broke Miss Mizona's wrist.
So she grabbed the hit, but then the culprit...
And they killed her.
And that's exactly what happened. When the fighting, the culprit grabbed, and that's when the first
Sword-based sneak attack.
No, that's wrong. I got it! You're talking about her palms, right? The palms of her hands were perfectly clean, so I don't think she ever picked up the sword.
How can you know that just by looking at her palms?
Like I said before, the gold coating on that sword comes right off. All you have to do is touch it. In fact, if you look, you'll notice that a lot of the gold has all... It's safe to assume that's because whoever used the sword got some of it on their hands. There's really no way she could have picked it up.
Maybe she washed her hands.
Sorry, but I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
No, that... I got it! According to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's time of death was around 1:30 a.m. In other words, at nighttime. And the water in the bathroom shuts off at nighttime, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I haven't taken a shower here yet.
Oh, my.
You're no different. You smell like a big, fat, ugly donkey.
I'm not sure whether to take that as an insult or a compliment.
insult, obviously.
So anyway, if Sayaka never touched the sword, then that means the killer is the only one who used the sword. But hold on. If that's right, then...
I got it! Sayaka? She had the kitchen knife?
But we already said that the attack started with...
The person with the knife attacked first, and the sword was used as an impromptu defense.
Then the one who attacked first was...
Sayaka?
Now do you understand? She wasn't a blameless victim in this.
No, far from it. It's almost as if she'd been planning to commit a murder of her own. She took the knife from the kitchen, then invited the culprit, and if it's true that she had the kitchen knife...
easy just to say, hey, decided, but there just aren't any more clues, right?
No, it's wrong. There still might be one clue left.
Sayaka's dining. Wait, what did you say?
The 11037, written in her own blood. There must be a clue about the killer hidden in there.
Well, before we get too far into that, I need to ask, can we really be sure that Sayaka is the one who wrote it?
Who else would be covered in blood?
I got it! Her left index finger had blood on it. That could only be because she used that finger to write the message.
I see. She broke her right wrist during the fight, so she'd have to use her left hand to write.
Sure. I think we can all agree Sayaka wrote it. But still, what the heck do the... One...
Hey, Chihiro. You're a computer nerd or whatever, right? You should know all about numbers and shit.
No, that's not... Yes, I'm a programmer, but I don't see any kind of meaning in these numbers.
Of course. It's because...
Oh!
Huh? What?
No, it's just... Don't these first two, 1-1, look less like two numbers and more like one letter?
Ah, you're right. Looking at it now, you could also read it as an N.
Whoa. You might have finally just said something worth a shit.
Our little gray cells are really getting excited now.
But even if that really is an N0.
She was sitting there, and she was using her finger.
Rotate the image 180 degrees.
She was writing it with her finger. You think she had the time to turn her body in a 360 angle?
Oh my god.
Go.
Now I see.
Leon.
She wrote down the killer's name.
Huh? So...
I can't choose that one.
Here's my answer. The key to solving this mystery,
She wrote that message on the wall behind her as she was leaning up against it. In that position, she couldn't move to write normally, and had to write upside down, as it were. And as a result,
it would be like...
when you look at it standing in front of, try it for yourself.
That sounds like one hell. I'm the killer? You can't just...
I got it! You mean the burnt shirt piece I found laying on the ground by the incinerator, right?
As the killer stabbed Sayaka, they must have gotten some of her blood on them. And to dispose of the shirt covered in the victim's blood, they threw it into the incinerator.
But one piece burned off and got left behind.
And the killer didn't notice. If they had, they most certainly would have panicked. Isn't that right, Leon?
But is one scrap of fabric enough to conclude that Leon is guilty?
Yeah, I mean, Leon's not the only one wearing a white button-up.
That's right! There are plenty of other people here with shirts like mine. With just that one little charred piece, there's no way you can say...
You're right. That alone isn't enough. But there are some other points that may reveal the truth.
Are you finally starting to understand? The answers to all the riddles are right here.
Yeah, I think so. you look closely at how the shirt... Oh, you...
The key to the trash room. Whoever was on
So the only one who...
and you'd have to get close to the incinerator in order to destroy the evidence.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. I think I know how someone could dispose of the evidence without using the trash room key.
But if you can't get past the gate, you couldn't possibly turn on the incinerator, could you?
Yes, you could. If you use this.
What is it, some kind of glass ball? It's busted to hell.
I got it! The killer simply took aim at the all they had to do... I got it! Because the killer is the ultimate baseball star. Isn't that right, Leon?
Do you have any idea how stupid you sound right now?
A target 30 feet away would surely be little challenge.
You can't be... I'm not the killer! These goddamn shifter brains have got it all wrong, I'm telling you! Listen to me! What the hell do you mean, ended?
Say what you want, Leon.
Every case has one last element, class trial to an end. This is the closing argument. This page will give a complete summary of the case. You'll have to reproduce the flow of events in the case form of a comic book. However, you'll notice that in the comic there are a number of pieces missing. But to complete the comic using the provided truth panels. So if you forget you have the missing section, press the X button. Holy cow, you'll get a hint that will break through. Well then, good luck and have fun. My time limit. My room is the scene of a crime and Just let roll before, you know, cleaning up blood with a lint roller. The killing crew
The killer is you! I think I'd better take one more look back. Last night, the killer went to the room Sayaka was in. From what we can tell, Sayaka... But then they grabbed the... During the struggle, a strike from the sword... And that's when she lost her grip on the kitchen knife. Finding herself cornered, Sayaka panicked and ran. The killer went after her, but couldn't get the bathroom door open. What they... So instead... With Sayaka dead, first they... Then they took the lint roller in my room. They wanted to make sure they got rid of any trace they'd ever been there. Afterwards, they tried to burn but the trash room... So the killer managed to throw the ball through the gate and... Isn't that right, Leon? It would appear you... When
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Here's your proof. You kidding me? Not a chance! Stupid! You lied! Shut up! Here's your proof! You kidding? You lied! Stop talking! Shut up! Here's your proof!
Dang it, I am so bad.
I refuse to give up yet!
When the killer...
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof?
I refuse to give up yet!
When the kitten...
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lied. Shut up.
I refuse to give up yet!
When the king's...
Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lied. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. You lied. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. It wasn't me. Stupid. You lie. Stop talking. Shut up. Where's your proof? You kidding me? Not a chance. Stupid. Where's your proof?
This should prove it!
I didn't kill him.
The screws on the bathroom doorknob were removed. I wonder what kind of that.
I mean, it had to be a screwdriver, right?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure
That must be what he used! But the toolkit...
So, you have no rebuttal?
Then it would seem we are
What are you doing? What are you doing? any of the communities. Result, rank A. Okay. Whoa, I just got coin.
Looks like you've reached your verdict. Then are we ready to cast our votes? You all have a lever in front of you. Use it to make your selection. Oh, just to remind you all, make triple sure you vote for someone. You wouldn't... Okay, then let's get excited! Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Leon is guilty. Leon, because the one girl. No, you can join the thing if you want to see it.
Yahoo!
Huh? Hey, hold on.
But
you know what? Okay, the narwhal guy and Leon, you know who they remind me of? If you put them together, they remind me of Bakugo and Kirishima. Narwhal is Bakugo, and then Leon is Kirishima.
You son of a bitch!
I didn't have a choice. So, that's why... You are any different? I was just... Hey, come on!
I mean, I don't mind it unless it's like really loud, like to the point where my ears will hurt, but if it's like something sudden, I'll probably get scared by it and have a heart attack, but you know. I wonder... I don't think I can. I was gonna invite you to the stream, but it doesn't let me. Well, midstream. Oh wait, I can do this. I'm stupid. Oh, I have to restart it anyway, so...